Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe. I know I haven't been on YouTube in a couple of days or whatever, but I'm back now. These are these are the hot topics that I'll be talking about today in this Celebrity Roundup. The CEO of Target had resigned, I think last month, and then also I'll be talking about Tabitha Brown getting backlash for her talking about entrepreneurs need to get a job. I also will be talking about Young Thug calling Gorilla ugly and getting backlash for snitching on a person in jail. I also will be talking about Byron Allen selling a lot of his network stations. I also will be talking about Lil Nas X team came out and said he had some kind of psychiatric episode. Those are some of the topics that I'll be talking about in this celebrity roundup. And like I said, it says right here, uh, it says pop base. Target CEO Brian Cornell plans to step down on February 1st. So that means February 1st of 2016. And so Jamal Bryant had a response to that. And let me find that article for you right now. It says right here, it says Pastor Jamal Bryant claims Target CEO stepping down amid D, D, DEI, a backlash is smoke and mirrors, says the boycott will continue. This is this is the most significant boycott of black people since the bus uh, Montgomery bus boycott 70 years ago. And he got on CNN and said that I saw a little bit of it last month when he got on CNN, and he also told Rick Ross to to boycott Target too because he was still getting the stuff and he was saying the way Target is doing black folks, but he said to him it's not enough and stuff like that. So that's all I have in this video about that. I'm gonna pause this video and go to the next story. The article with this is from the Jasmine brand. It says Pastor Jamal uh, Bryant is publicly reaching out to Rick Ross following the rapper's recent viral shopping trip to Target. Uh, uh, Reposting a video of Ross and his gifts and his girlfriend shopping at the retailer, Pastor Jamal used the moment to educate Ross on the current boycott and urge him to join the movement. He wrote, "You are an incredible and influential figure for the culture. Don't let them divide us." Pastor Jamal Bryant explained that the protests against Target began due to their disregard for our value and for our disregard for our value and disrespect for the dollar we spend at, as a reference to the company decision to terminate its diversity and equity and inclusion program, which is called DEI initiative. He closed his message by stressing the power of unity and collective action within respect respectfully be the boss, not the pawn. Do you do you think that Rick Ross and other major celebrities will or should join us? Some of them will, some of them won't. But like I said, this is it. I stopped shopping at Target way before that because the prices were so high and stuff like that. But like I said, this is in response to what he saw. Rick Ross shopping with his girlfriend. Now I'm going to be back on to the next story. Okay, I'm back. Like I said, they said Lil Nas X antics that he did last month were walking down the street in his underwear, being arrested by the police, and also being arrested by the police for his antics. And they also said that I guess he was fighting the police or whatever, trying to or whatever, resisting arrest. So they were saying right here, it says Pop tweets test confirmed that Lil Nas X was not under the influence of drugs or alcohol during last week's episode. The singer reportedly suffered a psychiatric a psych a psychotic episode. And I'm looking at that might be true too. He might have a little maybe anxiety, depression problem, but the way he was acting, that has something to do with some drugs. I mean, I don't care what nobody say. I think that has something to do with some kind of drug, some kind of type of stuff he had. Maybe he was under some kind of psychiatric care, and he would have got to take his medicine. It could be one of those scenarios. But the way he was acting, I really don't know. But I think they're trying to set this up because I think he's supposed to have a court date either in September or October of this year. I think they're trying to set this up where if he try to get convicted, he'll have an excuse as to why he was acting that way. Him and his team have already got that pat down, so they can kind of give him a lighter sentence. On to another subject. Um, Snoop Dogg. It says Snoop Dogg walks back light year LGBT apology. Some people say it's fake. I got this from that grape juice. Now, like I said, when it first came out, I really didn't want to talk about it. And then after a while, people started saying stuff, and then people started saying, they were tired of T.S. Madison coming out trying to call the man homophobic and all this kind of stuff. And then, like I said on Twitter, I don't like when these people jump on the bandwagon. Then Billy Porter came out and started saying something and stuff like that. And I was saying, uh, I'm on Snoop Dogg's side on this and stuff like that. I don't mind the LGBT community want representation. Representation for for doing their stuff. They want to be seen and represented rise on TV too. That's fine and dandy. I have no problem with that. The problem is that every time somebody speak out against something, and I agree with Snoop Dogg on this, you take your kids to a kid movie, you're expecting a kid movie. You're expecting them to be fun with your grandkids. You don't expect them to be teaching your kids about uh, about different couples and sexuality and all that kind of stuff. There's a time and place for that. And like when I was going to school, my mama didn't tell me nothing either. I found out stuff by going to school and having those classes at school. I think they still have those classes at school. I'm not for sure, but it's not the parents' responsibility to teach these kids these different lifestyles that these people want to promote and stuff like that. Now they can do it when it's appropriate time for a family member to do it, but I think if you're taking a kid to a kid movie, it should be a kid movie. That's why I used to stop watching the Family Guy because it was the cartoon. And I used to like cartoons, from when I was a kid and stuff. But when I started seeing all that cussing and talking about it, I said, "This ain't for no kids." I said, "Why they got all this stuff in there?" And then a couple of years later, other people started complaining and then the Fall Guy went off the TV for a while, but now I think it's back on Hulu or something like that. But yeah, if you're promoting stuff for kids, have it for kids. and it's a time and a place for a kid to find out stuff because these kids today, they don't need to be learning about all this stuff at the age of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, trying to retain all this stuff with all the other stuff that's going on and stuff like that. So I'm sorry, I'm a Snoop Dogg on this. Now on to another subject. Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams said that she doesn't want, right here says, I'm here for it. Sources claim Wendy Williams reportedly does not want to return to TV but wants to tour the country to express the abuse the guardianship system. Instead, she wants them to maybe do panels and help facilitate. Now, like I said, Wendy Williams, the last picture I saw of Wendy Williams, she did look good. And they was talking to her on stuff. She did look good. And they asked her, they said, Wendy, what do you think about your lawyers doing? She said, I'm for my lawyers and for my lawyers helping me in doing the stuff that they're supposed to do. Say, what about your guardian? What do you think about your guardian? My lawyers help me get stuff. You can tell she don't want to say nothing about that guardian and stuff like that and she's trying to get out of that guardianship because, like she said, she wants to be able to do her own stuff. But you can tell that Wendy is still not 100%. She's more in control of what she's saying and what she's doing. She's not blurring her speech or nothing like that. But you can tell in certain things she kind of her eyes still kind of she kind of think about it and then she kind of look and then she kind of turn her head and then she kind of think about it. Then she kind of go back to what you call. But like I said, I've been rooting for Wendy Williams ever since they came out with that diagnosis, and I hope she do get away from that, away from that, away from that, away from that, away from that guardian, real quick and real soon. My next topic is Cardi B. Like I said, Cardi B won her case, and she was so happy she won her case. But the one thing I didn't like she said, she was talking to reporters about she was glad that she won the case, and she was telling her fans that don't come after that woman because that woman did her like that. She's not a person like that. And that's one thing I can say about Cardi B. She know her fans gonna act the fool, so she nipped that in the bud right then and there. But people like Nicki Minaj and other people just let their fans run wild, don't say anything to discourage them. I don't like that. And then she came out and said that because she was supposed to be doing her album, and she said that she was that wasted all of her time from doing her album. And then they made an album cover, and it was all in the pictures that she did in the courtroom. And she said, I'm the drama. And she was very funny and stuff like that. I have one or two more stories, and then I'm going to end this video. Um, Let me go on to the next story. Oh, the next story is it says period. PJ Washington reportedly signs $90 million contract just days after viral video of him arguing with his baby mama, Brittany Renner. God is good. Yeah, I saw the little video where he was trying to go and get the son. I think they got a child together. He was trying to go get the son and stuff. And then she came out there talking about you ain't paid me no money for this and that. You ain't gave me no money for this and that. You need to get on work with him. And next thing you know, her mama came out there. She was hollering out the door and all kinds of stuff. I said, what's going on? What's going on? And he said, well, I ain't got time for this. Next thing I know, he drove off in the car. Like I said, I saw the little clip of it. I think it was on the neighborhood talk. I saw a little clip of it from because that's where I got this article from. But anyway, nice for that guy. He got him a contract. He used to be a basketball player, and I guess he had set out or retired or whatever. But he got him a contract now, so that's a good thing for him. Um, yeah, right here, this it says right here, Young Thug responds to recent backlash he received after his jail call leaks. His jail call leaks where he was snitching on somebody. It says right here, bashing me is only going it's only going to blank that rap community up more. I'm 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 the glue to this fake game. I guess he's saying he's the glue to the rap game. And he has some comments, but I don't want to feel like reading all his comments. Got this from X, and then he went on to try to talk about Glogorrilla, and that's what really made me mad. Uh, I got it right here. Let me I just passed it up. Let me pause this and get this right. Here it is right here. It says twin. So you call her ugly again, and then young thug, a gorilla. First of all, I am sorry. I'm sorry for my words, and honestly, don't think you ugly at all. I was speaking from jail just because having hard times with life. I don't be bashing girls and bashing girls. I hardly ever did. I'm coming from and Gorilla's response was yeah, and she said, and then I get this academic saying, y'all academics responds to Gorilla and others about young thugs lead call saying people are overreacting and that gossiping gossiping with your girlfriends and friends is regular talk publicly and privately and oh blank the twin the thugs get you. And I'm looking at academic. You've been a problematic person. I used to like you when you was on your little so-called show with the other two rappers, and Joe Budden. But it's like after a while, you started getting on my nerves, and I started watching the show anyway for both of y'all. But you always got something to say, academic. But like Gorilla said, keep keep the keep it P. Should man's that man on the phone is fighting his girlfriend. LOL. He supports. He's supposed to gas her up and say other girls are ugly and disgusting. And LOL. Come on, you know that. And then Gorilla said, "Mind you, this dada is the same the same blanks or the same end, not ends, the same blanks blowing up my phone to ask me what color my eyes are." And I said, yeah, that's right, Godzilla. They showed you behind closed doors. They won't talk to you, but in the public, they may like they want. And I don't like people like that. That's why I say I don't like that. And the last story is about Tabitha. And let me pause this and get that right quick. I'm back. I'm gonna end this video right now. This is A. Wilson. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. I am out.